No matter how much a narcissist says they hate you, there are some things they secretly love about you. They love these things not because they respect you as a person or they adore you. They love them because they get to weaponize each quality to get a certain response. What are these qualities? What are these things? Let's find out in today's episode. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new and have not subscribed already, it's my request that you consider subscribing to the channel because your subscription may help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Today's topic is 5 things a narcissist deeply loves about you. Let's get started with number 1, which is your patience. Patience is a virtue, but not when dealing with a narcissist. They are rotten to their core. That's why they do not respect the fact that you are patient, unconditionally so. You give them multiple chances. Unfortunately, you also put up with a lot of abuse, assuming that there is hope, that there is unmanifested, unrealized potential in them, that one day is going to come when they will wake up and realize that this relationship needs saving, that they will feel the love you are pouring into them. But the bitter truth is that day never comes. Your patience becomes the patience of the frog in boiling water. The water keeps getting warmer. You keep adjusting to the situation, thinking it's not going to harm you. You can tolerate it. It's fine. You can adapt. But your adaptability becomes your biggest weakness, unfortunately, and the water burns you inside out. Not saying that you are completely gone, it just hurts you deeply. Your patience is your biggest quality because that is what is needed for any relationship to work. Patience leads to compromise, and compromise runs any situation. However, in this situation, it is taken advantage of real bad. Number 2, as expected, your empathy. They love the fact that you love them so deeply and unconditionally, that you are willing to give them a number of chances, that you will always be there, kind and compassionate towards them and their past. But if you were to ask them, do you love me? They will never be able to answer that genuinely. Why? Because they do not know what love is. For them, love is just some kind of action or saying something. Action as in buying you something or taking you somewhere. They are totally disconnected from their emotional self, which is what one needs to be connected with to feel true love towards anybody. They love your empathy because it's through the weaponization of this personality trait that they get to exploit you so much. They take away a lot because every time you try to hold them accountable for their actions, they will cry wolf. They will convince you you are the crazy one, or you have abused them, or you have victimized them. And because you are a very empathetic individual, a highly sensitive person, you feel extremely guilty for doing something you have never done or said. That is the major impact of gaslighting. So what do? You try to fix the situation. How? By giving them more chances and by becoming better. That's why they love your capability to be deeply empathetic with them. Number 3, your agreeableness. Probably you are a non-confrontational human being who just wants to get along. You don't want fights. You do not want to have conflicts going on. You do not want chaos. Probably and possibly you want to live a very simple life. You are someone who would say a yes if that means you wouldn't have to face all that crap. But the narcissist is not the same person. They do not want the same thing. That's why they take advantage of your agreeableness. You are really easy to get along with, and they know how to take advantage of that personality trait. They make you say yes even when you do not want to. They use this trait to keep you under their thumb. Being a predator, they weaponize your agreeableness to maximize coercive control. If they know what you do not want, they will deliberately do all of those things more just to make you more compliant, subservient, and obedient so that you shut your mouth. They will point out faults until you say, okay, I agree with you. I know this is what I shouldn't do or shouldn't be saying, so I will stop saying it if that means you will be okay. They know how to make your entire life all about them and their ego. They think you are a fool, a very weak person for being so easy to deal with, for being so agreeable. They want you to give them a real tough time so that they fight and win. Every win gives them a new high. But because you are letting everything go and you're ready to prioritize peace, you deserve to be abused. That logic is crazy, isn't it? But that is how a narcissist's brain works. Number 4, your openness. You are an open book, really easy to read because you do not wear double masks. You are not a hypocrite. You do not put on a facade when you're dealing with people and become an entirely different person to your own family. You have congruency, while the narcissist is incongruent. They can tell what is happening in your body, what you will do next. They can read and predict everything. And that is how people should be, really simple to deal with. Why create complexity? Why be hypocrites? So that is what they weaponize against you. That is what they love about you, that you're so easy to read, but at the same time, they use your openness to be extremely calculated and strategic. Essentially, a narcissist will not hesitate in using your openness to make you do what you would never do otherwise, to make you say what they will use against you later to justify their behavior. It's very hard to understand this, but it's like they know what button to push, what word to put in your mouth, and when you use that word, that is what they will magnify so that the essence of the argument is lost. They wash their hands of responsibility and you become the primary focus as the perpetrator. And number 5 and the last one, your conscientiousness. You have a really strong moral system. Your moral compass is working and you have a fully developed, rather overly developed sense of right and wrong. You would never want to harm anybody unintentionally or intentionally. And that is what the narcissist uses against you. How? Because they convince you. They convince you that you are causing them a lot of harm. You're abusing your partner. You're abandoning your parent. You are exposing them. You're destroying their image. You're destroying the relationship. They instill that doubt in you until your super ego starts acting. Super ego is yet another word for that conscientiousness. And that guilt consumes you, which is why you try harder and harder to make things different. Instead of being grateful and appreciating you for being so morally aware, they use your system against you so that you feel degraded or do something that goes against your moral code and you start punishing yourself. For example, when and if the narcissist cheats on you, instead of taking responsibility, what do? Obviously, they blame it on you. And how do they do it? They don't just say it, they convince you that it was your fault. And you accept the fault. You take responsibility for something you never did. And what does your moral system do with that information? It starts punishing you. And that gives birth to that extremely critical voice in your head that keeps telling you, see, this is how bad you are. This is how wrong you are. And now you got to fix this. He or she cheated on you because of you. That is what is called moral wounding. And it is one of the most painful things to heal from. Sometimes it takes months. Other times it takes years. But that integration, it's really difficult to make possible. The narcissist creates an alter ego within you that keeps opposing you at every step you take in your life post narcissistic abuse. That shadow keeps lurking and it keeps chasing you, telling you, oh, see, this is why the narcissist was right. If that is what you're struggling with, I invite you to be more compassionate towards yourself, and I want you to truly understand that it was not your fault. You were convinced that you are the crazy one, and your conscientiousness is deeply wounded. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.